still very active in the gym. You know, you see him every day. He's still one of the first to show up and last to leave. So, you know, he'll be all right. He'll be good.
He was saying he sounds pretty hopeful to be able to come back at some point when SEC play begins. What does he bring to the table for this team?
Jeff?
Yeah, what does he bring?
A different kind of physical. He's a great athlete, super physical, super strong, great feel for the game. You know, I didn't get to see him play too much because he got hurt pretty early on. But from what I saw, he's an SEC player. He's definitely a pro. And, he'll be a great addition to us when he's ready.
Jadon, I apologize. You've probably been asked this already, but just what has stood out to you about your transition to Oklahoma? What have the last few months been like for you?
Just a lot of learning. You know, I kind of approached it as a freshman. Just being patient with myself, trying to learn as much as I can, trying to soak as much knowledge as I can, work hard, just come in, watch film, get as many reps in that I can, try to build relationships, and just get as comfortable as I can.
What was the process like from you getting to Oklahoma? When did maybe Coach Moser, others reach out to you, and when did you maybe realize that this was the place you wanted to be?
When did he reach out? He was one of the earlier ones. He might have been, I don't know, the 9th or so to reach out. Obviously, when you first kind of get into the portal, it's just phone calls. It's all kind of superficial. But as time goes on, you see who's really interested and who's kind of devoted to recruiting you. Coach Clay did a really good job of just keeping contact, making sure that I know I was sought after. And then when we kind of got deeper into it, we did a Zoom call. They kind of showed the official plan and then what they saw I could do, the weightlifting program. They showed like stats and film of mine. They showed that they had done their research on me, and it just showed how much they really cared and how much they wanted me to be here. And I think that was just the biggest thing. I felt like not only was I wanted, but I was needed here. And I thought it was just a great fit.
Right. You mentioned them kind of talking about maybe their plan or how you could fit in here, especially on the floor, offensively, defensively. Where did they maybe say, hey, this is where you can help us, this is where your game can help us the most?
Yeah, exactly that. They really valued my experience, going into my 5th year, my shooting, my defensive instincts. They just really trust me as a player. And I think that was the biggest thing is the trust factor. So I'm really happy.
Porter talked a lot about your defense and specifically your ability to get steals, that you can take some risks and those kind of pay off a little bit. Where does that maybe come from, and how much has that kind of led your game as a whole?
Oh man, I really couldn't tell you where it come from. It's just always kind of been second nature to me. Long and athletic, so you just you feel like you can go get it and you try and come up with a few. But I'm sorry, what's the second part of the question?
No, just how much has that maybe been kind of what you've leaned on in terms of when you're on the floor, kind of that defensive prowess?
They really emphasize doing what you do well. Obviously I'm a 3 and D kind of player. I shoot the ball well and I defend. So that's just really what I'm trying to emphasize, and anything I do on top of that is just icing on the cake. So just trying to do what I do well and maximize my range.
You mentioned the shooting, 3 and D, the shooting aspect of it. How much has that been emphasized to you in terms of, hey, if you're open, take a shot, that kind of thing?
A lot. They've seen me play not only like in college, but open runs and everything. And they've been really impressed with my 3-pointers. So now it's at a point where if I have an inch of space, let it fly. And, sometimes you think like, dang, you really want me to shoot this? But no, they've done a great job of just giving me confidence to shoot whatever shot I feel like I can hit. And I feel really good about where I am.
Right. You mentioned you played a lot of college ball. You played a lot of games. When you look at, and there's a lot of older guys on this team, but a couple newer guys, younger guys as well. What stands out to you about a guy like Jeremiah, a freshman guard coming in his first year of college? What has stood out to you about him?
His confidence. That kid is fearless. I mean, he's obviously, we all know he's very talented. He's very skilled. He would be a great player for a long time. But some guys, they come in and they're kind of timid. They don't, their main goal is to just not mess up. He wanted to take over from day one. He came in gunning. He came in fearless, attacking anyone. Trey Young came in and hooped us a little bit, and he was trying to hoop against Trey Young. So
how'd that go for him? Trying to go at Trey.
It went better than you would think. He's talented. He's a very good player, and I'm excited to see what he does.
How rare is that to see that in a freshman maybe have that confidence or not be timid?
Very rare. I know as a freshman I came in, I was just, I don't want to mess up. I'll come in. I'll do whatever you tell me to do. I'm just here to learn. He's one of a kind for sure.
Hey man, appreciate you, dude.
I appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.